that, sorry. No, you know, we've been working on 2 plays. We're doing one here. We're doing the Shakespeare here. And the Shakespeare, in a way, I think the only real difference in how we worked is that, to a large extent, the American cast is less familiar with working with Shakespeare. We're just less educated on it. But it plays really nicely into the whole conceit of the Bridge project. You know, it allowed Sam Mendes to actually kind of break up the countries, you know, the 2 halves. It gave it some kind of structure. And but I agree with you that the plays determine how they work on you. You work on Shakespeare one way, you work on Chekhov another way, you work on Tennessee Williams one way, you work on Beckett a different way. Well, I was sober for that interview, and I could speak much more coherently. I think what I was talking about, one thing that I find really exciting is that as the world is changing and our communication is changing and people are on computers and everybody has their cell phone and everybody has a picture, and it does distance us from each other and everything. Even movies, more and more people are watching movies at home and they have their home entertainment system, and it's really rock shows and theater that bring people together, and it becomes a living event in the present tense where we actually get to be together. And the art form is changing. The meaning of it is changing because of what's happening around us. And I actually think it's deepening, and there is an intimacy to it that you don't find. There's a humility to it and a life force to it that you won't find in the movies that I think is incredibly exciting. And it'll be really interesting to watch how it changes. You would have a very different experience, for example, if you came to watch this play. We did one matinee performance for some public schools in Brooklyn, and if you saw that performance versus the benefit we did for the Bank of America, you know?
Entirely different performance.
It's not that what we're doing is so different, but your experience of being, it's a living organism. Your experience of the show would be entirely different. And some parts worked better in different ones, you know. I don't really have any questions yet.
Have you seen anything?
There's a joke. When you first arrive in a place, you know, this hotel could be in Cleveland, Ohio. You know, I will have to speak on that when I leave. You know, my impressions of this press conference so far is very good. Having fun so far.
Hang on, Ethan. What did we see last night? We saw animals that we'd never seen before.
Where were you?
We went to the zoo. While it was the nicest zoo I've ever been to, it was not that different than the Bronx Zoo or any other zoo I've been to. A lot of animals in cages.
Rainforest.
Yeah.
Oh, fascinating.
He's been deeply influenced by us.
I hope so.
Oh, yes. Well, I was really influenced by Britney Spears. I'm trying to bring all that. No, I don't know. You have to see it, you know. I think that, you know, Sam Mendes has a great take on this play about using this company, and for whatever reason, I'm enjoying it tremendously, the musical element of it. I didn't think that I would, and it's a lot of fun.
Tell us about the songs. What are you going to sing?
What do you mean? What can I tell you about them? I'd rather just do them for you.
Especially because
Yeah, well, you know, the lyrics are by William Shakespeare, and they're composed, you know, they're kind of an early American folk root mixed with a little Elizabethan twinge. And it's something that it's pretty simple, straightforward, and
they're very beautiful, we can say.
They are.
Yeah.
And he sings
it's a lot of fun to do. And you can see the character makes no sense at all when you read it. I never understood. It has nothing to do with the plot. You don't know exactly what Shakespeare's doing by including him in the story at all. And something about it is it's some kind of symbolic meaning to it, but the music has to work. I think for the show to work, it's funny, I have a friend of mine who's playing the part somewhere else in the States, and they cut all the songs. And I thought, well, they've really, the songs have something to do with the spirit of what he's representing, what his job in the play is to do, you know?
Because there's no music in the other half.
Yeah, there's no music in the other half, you know?
It's very important that he comes on his own. Life giver. Ethan, you mentioned in a TV interview that people should come and watch the show because this is Shakespeare being performed by people who really know about Shakespeare. Have you seen Shakespeare being performed by people who don't know anything about Shakespeare?
Yes, I have. Many times. Many times I've been a part of those productions.
Are you referring to the movie version as well?
What's that?
Are you referring to the movie version as well?
I'm not referring to anything specifically. No, this is... I feel like, I don't know if this reference will last, you guys know, you've heard of the New York Yankees, right? Well, I live in New York, and New York always gets criticized because everybody on the team is great in New York. And that's kind of how I feel about this production. Everybody in our team we're kind of an all-star team. Everybody is among the finest. It's so fun to be in a rehearsal room with people who know so much about what they're doing. Sam and Sinead and Simon and Richard Easton and Paul Jessup, everybody down the line love this work, and they're really good at it, from the design team to everybody, and it's thrilling to be inside a production. It's very, very difficult to do Shakespeare well, and when it's done well, you see that it's actually easy and fun and joyous, and to have my friends in New York come to a Shakespeare show and love it, they all think they're coming because it's going to be school, or they're going to get smarter or something, as if they're listening to Beethoven. And they walk out and they feel like it was a rock show. And that makes me really, really happy. And that's just because it's being done very well. It's fun to be a part of that.